extraordinary transformation from all over the world. Every single week we have about 75 approximately people come into the Institute to take the program. They take either a 1 week or a 2 week, or my preference is the 3 week full life transformation program. It's a 21-day intensive, change your life, turn it around, look at yourself in the mirror, and say, whoa. Okay? And the reason I can say that is because I myself have worked with literally thousands of guests myself. So it's a very, very exciting place to be, to watch the transformation. It's tons of fun. You know, when you think about it, you're all here for your own reason. And I don't know what that reason is, but we all have choices. And what we know is that every single choice that we have leads to an outcome. We choose, we can be our own internal doctor, but do we really listen to ourselves? That's the question. And a lot of these, that's one of the things that we teach. So I'm going to ask you to kind of tackle yourself tonight and think about the choices that you're making. We're going to start tonight with Dr. Michael Badanek. Badanek. I'm trying so hard to pronounce his name so correctly. This gentleman has a ton of credentials and very, very powerful credentials. I have it. You're welcome to meet Nancy over here whenever you get a chance. He's here in town. But he does treatments like detoxifying. He's a clinical nutritionist. He uses applied anesthesiology. And he also uses energy medicine. So that's just 4 to start with. We also have Dr. Talmor here, and he's also an MD. And the reason that I've invited these gentlemen to share with you is because they also have some cutting-edge information to share. What we're going to be talking about with the 2 doctors before Dr. Bennett starts is alternative therapies and how that impacts and affects immunology in the system. So we know at the Institute we're trying to partner, per se, with community. So we've invited the community to come just to share. And if you feel as though you would like to work with these doctors, you're certainly welcome to. We encourage you to come to the program. We also know that once you come to Hippocrates, transformation does occur, but you also need community support. So that could be through raw food groups, through meetup groups, and a wide variety of other ways. But we do believe in alternative types of therapy. Dr. Talmor tonight is going to be talking about the use of homeopathics versus pharmaceuticals. I myself made a choice many years ago. Okay, there was a point in my life when I went to the physician, and the physician didn't even know me because she didn't have time for me. She put me through to the nurse practitioner, and the nurse practitioner suggested that I take some antidepressants. From that time, my life changed. Okay, I wasn't depressed. Okay, there were some other things I needed to do, but not taking antidepressants. So Dr. Talmor is going to talk tonight about the use of homeopathics opposed to pharmaceuticals. Now, this is a medical doctor who's going to talk about, like I said, homeopathics and alternative types of therapies. And then we'll wrap it up tonight with our keynote speaker, Dr. Brian Clement from the Hippocrates Health Institute, who's a naturopathic doctor and has also a PhD. He's written several of these books here. He's scientifically analyzed all of these products here, and they're all whole food nutritional products, but also has a very, very strong foundation. So the medical students that are here. We also did an event last night, and that was in Orlando, and we invited Everglades University. And what I found out in Everglades University is that half of the students at Everglades are actually in alternative medicine. Okay? So we at the Institute don't say, don't go with allopathic. What we say is just consider your choices. Look at your choices within the world of the alternative therapies and see how that can support you. And I think that when you hear what I'm talking about now, considering alternative types of therapies, because believe it or not, an alternative type of therapy, you may think of yoga, for example, as alternative. But how alternative is it really? What we're doing is breathing. Okay? Think about it for a moment. What happens if somehow the oxygen stops in this room at this moment? Deeper breath sometimes is one of the key elements to recovery. Okay? But I'm not going to go too much further. We're going to hear from the doctor. Dr. Badanek, are you ready to share with us tonight for the power of us? I don't know. Are you guys ready to hear from the doctor?
I really don't know if I'm going to need this or not. And once I get wound up, I'll probably be dancing. Dr. Clements wants us to do. My name is Dr. Badanek. I am a chiropractic physician. I practice in Mariontown, Cal, Florida. I've been here roughly 30 plus years. I think I'm going to my 32nd or 33rd year. I do alternative complementary medicine. And during my tenure as a chiropractor, I have had the opportunity of getting a degree in medicine, board certification in naturopathic medicine, and also 4 additional board certifications in clinical nutrition, homeopathy. I'm also certified in applied kinesiology and such. So what my job is to treat what we call a medical wreckage. By the time people come to me, they've been all around. I've got a lot of patients in the audience here tonight. And a lot of them have heard me speak, because I speak usually monthly in Ocala in the Marion County region on all different types of topics, from pathology to endocrinology to the immune system and so on and so forth. I want to thank Dr. Clements and also the Hippocrates Clinic for inviting me to come this evening. They want me to speak a little bit about how raw food has a direct correlation with your immune system. I don't know what Dr. Clements is going to say, and I don't know what Dr. Kelmore is going to say, so I'm going to try to say a few things a little differently that might just spur a little interest in what you have as far as healthcare is concerned. Okay. You hear? Is this as good as the mic or not? I really don't need this. Do I need this? Normally, I don't do slides, just come straight from the gut, so to speak. And so, let's talk about alternative medicine. First of all, how many here are students at college? Raise your hands. How many here are in the healing arts going to school here? Anybody in the healing arts at all? Okay, very good. Now, if we take a look today in alternative medicine, we could say that you are what you eat, breathe, and drink, and what you're exposed to. That's classic. Okay? If you have a disease state, most of the time that disease state takes anywhere from about 10 to 30 years to come about, because everything's at a cellular level. As the cell is changing, in time, enough cells form a group to cause a tissue change, then finally an organ change and an organ system change. And by the time you get to organ and organ system changes, that's when you start having clinical symptoms and you go and see your primary physician, your doctor. In many cases, you're given a prescription. And you have to know really how medicine works. It has 2 major functions. It blocks an enzymatic reaction to occur, or stops it, or blocks a receptor site. Now, in many cases, that has nothing to do with the cause and effect of the particular situation. I believe that most disease is either due to a nutritional deficiency and or a toxic reaction to the body, either an exposure to something, such as if you have mercury fillings in your mouth, or a root canal, or a bridge, or any metal in your mouth, which can expose you to things such as cadmium, mercury, and so on and so forth, which is then depressive to the immune system. That's important. So what we try to do is we try to go back and try to differentiate and diagnose by alternative means, by functional medicine and also traditional medicine, to find what the problem is. And then from that point, we address the issue as far as the problem, and then we treat it. Now, what the Hippocrates Clinic is one of the best places I've ever met in my life to send patients to. Because the biggest problem I have with patients is compliance. You know? You start on a program and they come in to see 4 to 6 weeks later, and how you doing? Well, I'm doing terrific. Well, how come you haven't stopped something, you know? And they don't see the results. So you follow up with laboratory tests and studies and so on and so forth, and 9 times out of 10, nothing materializes. So the Hippocrates Clinic is a godsend to have people that are really, really sick go to, and to then, at that juncture of time, be trained as to really the basic fundamentals. Because, see, I can sit here until this time next week, nonstop, 24 hours a day, talking to you about alternative medicine, and still not really cover the whole gamut. So